Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 26. I am Trevor and with me this week is James. Hey mate.
Good mate, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Excellent. Yeah, very well.
Feeling a deja vu?
I feel like I've been here before.
A few technical issues, but we're back in the game now. Take two.
Take two.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Everybody, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Spotify, we're all on all that stuff. If you are watching the video, please like it. It helps it getting suggested to other people, etc. So please do that if you don't mind. Leave any comments, anything you want us to talk about. You know by now about all of that. Quickly before we start, comment of the week. It's a very short and sharp comment. And this sort of ties in. We had Macca on the show last week, a big Carlton fan.
Oh, okay.
Is Carlton on the up? This is from Grant Archibald, friend of the show. Is Carlton on the up? No.
No, absolutely agree with you on that one.
You across this one?
Yeah, that's a hard no from me.
At a time when Carlton's under review, the club is called for a systemic review.
That is correct.
Everyone's heads on the block. They turned up and had a shocker against North Melbourne. Played very poorly. Got beaten by the bottom team.
39 points, no less.
39 points. They were leading, I believe, at halftime. Don't quote me on that. Also, just a heads up, North Melbourne aren't actually too bad. I know they're bottom team, but the second half of the year, they've been popping up and playing not too badly, and I reckon they'll win another one or two before it's over. The banana peel. COVID affected AFL at the moment, mate.
Yeah, but everyone's suffering, so if anyone wants to use that as an excuse for Carlton's poor performance...
It's not going to fly, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Look, everyone's on an even keel on that one, I'd say. So, you know, and this is what... 8th season now, missing the finals.
Yeah.
Yep.
No finals again. And no one's really sure if it's going this way or this way.
I think it might be going that way.
You reckon?
Yep. I mean, I've got a few damning statistics here. I mean, you can't always go on
Tell me some damning statistics.
Well, let's have a look at the game against North Melbourne. Conceded 7 goals in the third quarter.
It was that third quarter, I think, that really didn't pass the sniff test.
Yeah, well, look, this is apparently this is the 8th time this season they've conceded over 100 plus points as well. And the
defense up the corridor is abysmal.
Yeah, absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Absolutely, mate. I'm with you on that one all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And look, everyone's going to start pointing fingers at David Teague, and it's just natural to do that. You know, what's the coach doing wrong?
He's under fire.
He is, and I know we spoke about this earlier, but the CEO, Kane Little, has apparently assured in writing that David Teague does have his job next year, but, you know.
Yeah, so that's interesting because from what I'm hearing, his job is very much up for grabs, but you're saying he's been assured that no matter what, he's got the gig.
Yeah, well...
that's like getting the full support of the political party or something, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the full support.
Oh, yeah, mate.
And the next thing, every time David Teague's phone rings at the moment, he's probably nervous as.
Oh, he wouldn't be answering. He'd be screening every call.
Who's this? Yeah. Okay, mate. So what have you been watching this week, mate? Tell me.
The women's handball in the Olympics.
Very specific answer.
Yes, very specific.
Big fan of women's handball?
I wasn't previously, but now I am.
What about the men's handball?
No.
Not interested?
No, the women's handball.
Okay. Tell me more.
Well, specifically Brazil-Hungary, the rivalry that exists between them. They haven't played since an Olympics since 2008 against each other.
Okay.
And Hungary managed to pip Brazil at the post there. It was a 28-all draw, which knocked them out of the stock. What do you call it? The draw or whatever.
Okay. At the 2008 games.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So now
rivalry. Brazil and Hungary, hey?
Yeah, well, now the good thing is Brazil's now made it to the quarterfinals because they beat Hungary.
Okay.
So they put that to bed. And like, in all fairness, like Hungary are no pushovers.
Yeah.
You know?
That European handball is a great game. It's just never taken off here, eh? It's something that, I mean, there's probably a league here somewhere, but you never see it.
No.
It's a good game.
Yeah, you don't tend to get too much of it on Fox Sports during the non-Olympic season.
Probably it's got its own streaming service.
Well, one would hope so.
Now, look, I've been watching Olympics as much as possible.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I've missed a lot with work, and there's a bit of controversy with the timing of events. We'll talk about this in a minute. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely catered for American telly.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of stuff's on around lunchtime here when we should probably be getting it at our night time because it's our region of the world.
Yeah.
So I missed a bit, and I had holidays planned for when it was meant to be on last year, and then it got postponed and that. So I've actually missed a lot of it. Trying to keep up, mate.
Yeah, well, I think that's why I've been sort of following some of these more slightly odd way sports because they're coming on at prime time. Like this is where you've got your judo, your fencing, your women's handball, that sort of thing. So
it's good to watch the different ones you don't.
Yeah,
probably.
well, that's what I've tried to make a point of really doing as well too. You know, and I
watched hockey, I watched softball, the kayaking, bit of taekwondo. I think that's a pretty dumb sport though.
Yeah,
hot take.
Judo for me.
You like judo?
Yeah, I don't mind the judo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on in it, but there's apparently an art to it.
Yep.
So
the start of the games, the opening ceremony was bittersweet for me because they had this $1 billion show, this amazing technical, dancing, artistic vision, and no one there. And it just broke my heart. I'm like, we can't have people to this. And I thought, the Olympics might feel a bit weird. But the good news, once the sport started, I felt fine. I thought,
everything was fine. Yeah,
the sport is the highlight, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, a lot goes into the opening ceremony.
Oh yeah.
It's well, I mean that's obviously stating the obvious, but
when the athletes walk out and they look around, there's no one there.
Yeah,
it's got to be weird, eh?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. You know, it's like that period of the rugby league and the AFL obviously as well too, where there weren't crowds. I mean that was a little different though because it was a good chance to actually hear what was going on the field.
Yeah, but we heard it all right.
Yeah.
And what about the fake? Are you a fan of the fake crowd noise? Do you like that?
Absolutely not. No.
You don't?
No. I really like the novelty, I suppose, of being able to hear the players.
Yeah.
It was definitely something different. So, no, don't put the fake noise in there.
I think even in the, sort of on a side note, I think they're using enhanced crowd noise now as well. Even when, like, the sports with crowds, like the NRL at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the crowd, I'm thinking, I'm not sure if the 4,000 people in Mackay are making that noise.
No. Yeah, I don't know how much...
It's a whole other thing.
And we'll get to that in a bit.
We'll get to that.
Football played in Mackay recently.
I'll tell you what's caught my eye, mate.
Yep.
Swimming, the Titmus-Ledecky rivalry, the big one.
Yes.
Australia have just got a little bit of a bit of revenge on America. We haven't been up there for a while. Their best swimmer, Ledecky, has been beaten by Titmus in the 200 and the 400.
That is correct.
And we won the relay. We've had McCune having a blinder. Kate Campbell bronze today. Swimming, we're back.
Yep. No, it's what we do.
It's what we do.
You know, we should be winning medals in that. If we're not, we're doing something very wrong.
Historically, we've been a powerhouse, and then in recent games, not so much. But here we go.
But we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like you were saying, I mean,
that's caught my eye.
Yeah. Let's look at our gold medal tally for Australia.
Okay. What are we on right now? I think we're
2, 3,
9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. I think that's
because we won. McCune's just won one today at the time of going to press. I think we're about 9. So.
Are you talking about the 100-metre backstroke?
100-metre freestyle, was it?
I've got McEwen winning 100-metre backstroke.
The other day, yeah. She's won another one today.
Oh, she's won another one.
Yeah,
Okay.
just hot off the press, that one.
Here.
There
Well
you go.
done.
And in that one, Kate Campbell got a bronze, so that was nice.
Okay, good.
Now, tennis didn't go our way. Ash Barty was eliminated in the first match, unfortunately, as well as Naomi Osaka.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a couple of big names.
Because I'm still waiting for this big stage Barty Osaka match, and it's just not happened yet because that's the two best female players in the world, and their paths haven't crossed in the big game. That's the one I think Barty would like. Osaka said that after the game, the pressure got to her. She didn't feel the pressure. She's able to light the Olympic torch, but she can't do a press conference. I'm confused with Naomi Osaka.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a bit of an excuse. Look, I mean, this is her job. You know, she's no stranger to crowds.
I understand she's got some mental health and she's an introvert and all that, but she's capable of all this. But then when it suits her, it's no good. I don't know. I'm confused by her. People might think I'm being harsh. I don't care. Think it. You know. But just quickly on the tennis, the Golden Grand Slam of Novak Djokovic.
Ah, yes.
The gold medal. if he wins it, and I think he will, he's got Zverev in the semi with a pretty weak draw on the other side. Then he would have the US Open to win the Golden Grand Slam, which in tennis, that is a big deal. The only person who's ever done that is Steffi Graf. That was back in '88. The Golden Grand Slam, there's not many players who can have that one on the resume.
Yep, that's it's an impressive one. Like you were saying.
Yep.
That is greatest of all time.
He's getting there,
Yep.
whether you like him or not. My eye was caught by the 48-year-old female table tennis player from Western Australia.
Do tell.
Mate, Zhang Lei, I think it's like her 6th Olympics, 48. Mate, she carved. She was beating a few people there. She's been knocked out, but that's just the epitome of Olympics, isn't it? It's that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting around watching a 48-year-old female playing table tennis, completely engrossed, all in on it, loving it. When else would I watch table tennis?
Yeah, well, that's true, and I think that's why maybe it's not such a bad thing that we're getting those sports that you normally wouldn't you wouldn't see, like I was saying, like the fencing and that sort of thing. You know, let America have the swimming.
Well,
we've got the table tennis.
We've got the table tennis.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. When the Olympics, the build up for them is so long, and everyone's whinging about it's costing all this money and there's the logistics and all that. But when it actually starts, it reminds you how good it is.
Yes.
The fact that it's 4 years as well.
Yes.
It's not oversaturating you. It's nice, you know. I really like it.
Oh, it's like that period once every 4 years where everyone in Australia is into soccer.
Yes. You know? Yeah, that's true. All right, Jess Fox, superstar.
Yes.
Got the goal that she craved. Excellent. She's won the C1. The K1 didn't quite go away. She had the silver, had the bronze. She's got the gold.
Yep.
Bloody superstar, Jess Fox. Love her.
Yes, excellent. And I think, like I was mentioning earlier, I didn't know that we were much of a canoe slalom nation. So well done on that as well. We may well
seem
be.
to go right. And we've won a gold in the rowing. So the water stuff, stuff is working, going well. And just a side note, Miriam Fox, who's Jess Fox's mum, was an Olympian herself, who had a arch nemesis. Her name escapes me, but she was like a Polish lady, and Jess Fox beat her sort of avenged her mother's nemesis. So that was cool. She's like, the Fox family are rowing royalty, canoeing royalty, I should say. Her dad's a commentator, and they just live and breathe it. And when Jess won that gold, it was awesome. I've got 2 hot takes. I've got a hot take and a hotter take.
Ooh.
Ready?
Yep. Hit me with it.
Hot take is Great Britain. Now, why is it that Great Britain is able to compete as 4 nations in one in the Olympics? There is no other country in the world or countries in the world that this happens. And why doesn't anyone ever comment on it? So I'll give you an example. Someone is from Northern Ireland, potentially hardcore Catholic.
Yep.
Not a fan of the monarchy. When they compete, the Union Jack is above their head. Have you ever heard anyone mention why this is a thing? So I'm using England. In soccer, it's England. In rugby, it's England. It's England in everything. Commonwealth Games, you name it. Olympics comes around, Great Britain. They are able to pull 4 countries' resources and talent and population into one. Why is this a thing?
It does seem a little unfair. I mean, that's another thing I noticed in, and I'm sure we'll get onto it soon, the rugby. They're competing as the
Lions.
Yeah, the Great Britain and Ireland. Irish Lions.
Yeah.
However you pronounce that. So.
British Irish Lions, yeah. But that's a touring team that is like a best of the best sort of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm with you there.
You know, but those countries compete individually.
Yeah, true.
You know.
Yeah.
So you've got, I mean, I don't know if this is a big deal. It just seems weird to me. You've got people in, you know, for example, like Scotland, who will never represent Scotland in the Olympics. You know,
what are they needing to make up numbers, perhaps, or something like that?
I don't know. I think it's just an old, antiquated thing, but no one ever talks about it.
Bit of a legal loophole, perhaps.
Well, okay.
Who knows?
And my hotter take is Laurel Hubbard, the New Zealand transgender weightlifter. I don't like this.
I don't know if I want to touch that with a 10-foot barge pole.
Feel free to take the Fifth Amendment. I don't care. Look, weightlifting, the entire purpose of that sport, it's a show of strength. Now, of course, there's technique, right?
Yeah.
But your physical strength is the determining factor in who wins that. Now, Laurel Hubbard, I've got no issue with anyone who wants to transition or identify. I got no issue with that. I couldn't care less. Good luck to her, and I'm supporting that all the way. But when someone who was competing in the men's competition as recently as 2013 now can be in the female competition, now and is taking testosterone reducing drugs and so forth, they reckon that this. We'll see what happens, but they reckon that she's going to win the gold for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah, well, mate, it's kind of like taking the Roosters front row and putting them in the women's rugby league.
Yeah,
It could be a bit of an issue. It may not be. I don't know. They might have a great back line.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
People,
but,
I think this will be a sad day. If I was someone who won a silver to that competitor, I wouldn't feel good about it. That's a hot take. Like it, don't like it.
Well, I suppose we'd need to look at the results. You know, is it going to be a resounding gold? Is it?
It's still yet to play out, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what the result is. I'm opposed to it ethically. I mean, what's going to happen is, if you let this happen, is you're going to have men who are going to transition to women and then want to play WAFL and put some hits on people, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt them.
Oh well, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, this is. I don't know where to go on that one.
Mate, feel free to say nothing. I don't care. Come at me in the comments if you don't like it.
I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm saying it. Now, and plus she's from New Zealand.
Yeah, well, yeah. Nobody cares about New Zealand, do they?
Mate.
Sorry, New Zealanders.
Let's talk about hot take. We're in a bad mood today. Now, let's... anything else on the Olympics before we fall off, mate? You got anything else? You've got all your stats here?
Well, let me just quickly cover again. Like we were talking about Australia, obviously water is our thing.
Good by sea.
We are indeed.
Yep.
Japan, the medal tally there, it's a fairly eclectic range of ribbons there. Like if we start from the top, we see that there's we've got the men's all-round artistic gymnastics, softball.
This is Japan medals.
This is Japan medals. I thought I might make mention of the host country. Why not?
Oh, very nice.
But if you have a look, obviously judo, 7 gold medals in that. You'd be a little disappointed if they weren't winning in the judo.
Right. Powerful judo country.
Very powerful judo country. They've been doing it for a little while now. So the men's
just a little while.
Yeah.
So what you're saying there's a diversity there.
Absolutely. Like if you have a look, like I said, the gymnastics, the softball, the judo. You've got the street skating. What else have we got? We've got swimming in there as well too. The 200 meter individual medley, the 400 meter individual medley.
Because that was the thing. I guess the thing too. The host nation always does better than they would if they weren't the host nation. That's nothing new.
No.
But with the no crowds, that was the thing that nobody knew.
Yeah.
How much does the crowd matter?
Well, absolutely.
Japan are having a good run of it.
Well, they're just obviously good at what they do, and not to mention the tennis, the mixed doubles as well too. They won a gold medal in that too. So
nice.
Well done, Japan.
NRL, mate.
NRL. Oh,
They've got to get you on here now.
Okay, mate. Where do we start? Are we starting?
I'll tell you where we start, mate. The biggest news of the week, the biggest signing in the NRL has happened. Do you know who the biggest signing in the NRL is, mate?
Are we going to say Craig Bellamy?
It is Craig Bellamy. That guy is the signing that everybody wants. He's bigger signing than any player. The Storm have re-signed him until at least 2026.
Yep.
There was a few clubs offering some pretty good money, mate. So here's the deal. This is his deal. He will be the head coach the rest of this year, obviously, and next year. After that, he will decide if he wants to be the head coach.
Yeah.
It's his job as long as he wants it. And when he decides that he doesn't want it, he will go into a director's role, and he and he alone gets to choose who's the coach.
Yes.
100% of the say.
Who is that going to be, though?
Well, no one knows. Craig Bellamy might know. But the point is, that is all the power, and he deserves it, mate. If I was Melbourne Storm, I'd be saying, what do you need? Here it is.
Yeah, well, look, I think the thing with Bellamy too is the only real question was not where he was going to go, but whether or not he was going to retire. Like, I think it was a given. Like, no, like he might have just been shopping around for a quote or something like that. But he was never going to leave.
No, well, Melbourne would be mad to let him go, but there's still some fire in the belly. Now, just on this one, the club chairman, the Melbourne Storm club chairman, is a guy called Matt Tripp, who is quoted saying, "It's a 5-year coaching deal. Craig will be the head coach until he tells me, and then he'll morph into the director of football." This is, I thought, interesting. He always gives me 12 months notice just before round 1 each year. So just before March next year, he will let me know what he's doing in 2023.
Oh, okay.
So this is a guy who at the start of the year tells the management about next year to give them... It's just a professional man with long-term vision, succession plans. This is for players too. He's got these players. He's already planning... In 3 or 4 years' time, who do I want in this role?
Oh, well,
this is the most professionally run club in, I'd say, Australian sport.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And that's the thing about the Storm. You know, they've always made those contingencies and stuff like that. And we'll have a whinge about the Broncos a bit later, but that's...
on the other end of the scale.
On the other end of the scale. But yeah, like obviously... who's gonna take over wear the crown? I suppose after Craig Bellamy goes. I was suspecting maybe Jason Riles.
Jason Riles.
Yeah, well, I know he's got he's going to the Roosters. I think he's got a 3-year contract with them.
Okay, well
he's got to stay for 3. Like they said, look,
he has to stay.
Yeah, he has to do the 3.
Well, that might work out well, timeline wise.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You know, I mean, he knows the way Bellamy coaches. He knows the he knows the team, that sort of thing as well, I suppose. So yeah, I would put my money possibly on Jason Riles in 3 years. He would seem like the natural choice.
Well, Bellamy's going to make the decision.
Yeah, well, it's up to him.
And no one else.
Yep.
So that's interesting. And with the Storm, we've got a bona fide blockbuster happening tomorrow night.
Penrith.
The 2 top teams, everybody, including me, thinking this is probably the grand final preview. Do you think?
I think you could be right on that one.
I think so. 16-2. Storm and Penrith, mate.
Yeah, but what's the Storm got? 15 on the trot now?
15 on the trot.
Well played.
And look, a couple of injuries for Penrith, notably Nathan Cleary's the big one.
Yeah.
It seems to probably matter, whereas when the Storm lose a couple of players, it doesn't seem to matter.
No.
They don't dip in form. They just lost Cameron Smith at the end of the year. Pappenhausen goes out, Hines comes in. This is unbelievable, and what I want to know is, this is a lot on this game, like what would it do to the confidence of Penrith?
Yeah.
Say if they get pumped, right? And you think, God, these guys are going to play them in the grand final, you know? If Penrith could somehow beat the Storm now without Cleary and get that little chink in the armour, it might go a long way to determining who wins in October.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's confidence, you know?
But you're still feeling that it's going to be the Storm and Penrith?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I think the Storm are an absolute moral for the grand final. And then it's Storm versus Penrith looking the most likely because, frankly, Souths...
Oh, mate, always the bridesmaid. You know.
Parramatta, we'll talk about in a second.
Yes.
Well, let's go there, man. Let's go there. Parramatta's been pumped last night, 28-0, by a Roosters team who's injured. Now, the Eels, they've lost to Canberra last week. They've lost to the Roosters last night. They've got the hardest run home. They've still got to play Penrith and they've still got to play Melbourne.
Yeah, well, if you look at what they've got the Bunnies, they've got Manly, they've got, the Cowboys.
Manly's, arguably the dark horse in the comp.
Mate, I've got a few predictions about how this ladder's going to end at the end of the season, and I think Manly's going to move up there a few spots.
Where do you got the Eels finishing?
I could see them finishing 6th, to be perfectly honest. Like, if you have a look at what they've got, okay, they've got to play the Rabbitohs next week, and I'm going to put my money on the Bunnies, because without Mitchell Moses, I think...
and we're missing Moses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, you shut down the Eels forward pack, mate, and Mitchell Moses isn't there in the back line, you've got really nothing. So, I mean,
now, I've got this theory, though, because obviously conventional wisdom tells you top 4 of the 8 is better than coming 5th or 6th. But if the finals were today, the Eels play Melbourne, and we get spanked, and then you go down. I'm actually happier to finish in 5th or 6th.
Yes.
Give me a game against St George, where we can win a final, hopefully, get a bit of a momentum. Of course, you've still got to play the Storm or Penrith or whatever.
Yeah,
but that first game, that top 4 game, whoever comes 4th, for their rewards, probably going to get Melbourne.
Yeah, and do you really want that?
You get pumped.
Yeah.
You go back and then you play a team that's coming off a win.
Yeah.
Parramatta have been here before.
But honestly, mate, I can see what do we got? Five rounds left. I could only conceivably see Parramatta winning one of those 5.
Ooh.
I'm
spicy.
Well, I'm putting my money on Manly. I'm putting my money on the Bunnies. I mean, they've got to play the Storm and Penrith, so that's and without. I mean, how long is Mitchell Moses out for with his cracked back?
That's a hard one because there was some talk he was going to play last week and he didn't, and I think, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
That's without him, like you look at you just look at the way that they played, and I think Clint Gutherson's frustration said it all.
Trying everything, but just nothing happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think they were throwing it around too much in greasy conditions in their own half.
Yeah.
Much too much.
Up in Mackay.
Yeah, it wasn't a smart move.
What do you know about collective nouns?
Oh, well, I know of them.
You know of them? So a collective noun for a group of eels is a bed.
A bed of eels.
And for roosters, it is a flock.
Oh.
This is the wife was informing me. So the headline is eels put to bed by a flock of cocks. What do you reckon about that?
I think that's it's very poetic.
That was what I was receiving from the members of the family who support the Roosters, so thank you very much. Now, I've gone into All Sports Weekly headquarters, as I do, sat around the oak table, had a glass of cognac and smoked a Cuban, and I have worked out that you need 26 points to play finals, mate.
Yep.
That means Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Eels are in.
Yes.
Manly need to win one more game. I think that's almost a given.
That's a given, mate. And I think with the teams that they're playing, I think they could easily win more than one. That's for sure. I mean, they've got to Cronulla next week.
Yep.
Well,
I've got Sharks, Dragons, and Raiders need to win 4 games.
Yep.
Which out of 6. Titans and Knights need to win 5 out of 6. They can only lose 1. And the Tigers and the Cowboys need to win every game.
Yeah, no, they're out of it, mate.
Okay.
Easily.
Now,
but I would say Manly, Cronulla, I think they can beat them. The Storm, no. I think they can beat the Eels. I think they can beat the Raiders. I think that they're definitely going to beat the Doggies and the Cowboys.
Okay.
They'll put them to bed.
Running short of time.
Yep.
Broncos.
Oh, dear. What happened?
Mate, so the halves. Croft, Milford, Gamble, Milford, Dearden, Milford, Gamble, Kelly, Milford, Kent. Mate, it's like trying to pick the Broncos halves each week. It's like winning the Powerball. Are they going to beat the Cowboys tonight? That's my question.
No.
They're not?
No.
Okay. Now, Sydney lockdown extended for 4 weeks. Are we going to get the grand final?
It's possible.
It's possible.
They'd be fools not to.
Okay. I'm running out of time, but I just quickly, your Winner Manly Seagulls in the Q Cup are coming second, and they're going to play Norths.
Yep.
Haven't got much time, but are you're a Winner Manly fan? You sense greatness?
Yes, I do. I think it's been a while, but I think they've got what it takes this season.
They've got a top of the table clash next week against Norths, and I reckon you and I should try to get down to that one at Cougarai Oval.
They're at Cougarai, mate. Yep. We'll get down to the Chook Pen then, Trev.
James and Jury.
Yep.
We've got not much time, mate.
Okay, the Broncos, what happened? The line's been broken, mate. They're trying to buy a team, and it's not what they're about. They're about fostering good players and building them up from young lads, but the only problem is now the talent. There's no support. Guys like Dearden, I think if he had a couple of those long-termers around him, he would have performed a lot better than what he had.
It's a mess.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess, and I don't know how it's going to get fixed, frankly. It's
such a powerful club on its knees, mate.
Yep.
One hot minute.
Hit me with it.
Should Brisbane get a second NRL team?
Yes, absolutely.
What new sport should Brisbane bring into the Olympics?
What new sport should we bring into the Olympics?
Yeah, throw one at me. Women's handball?
Women's handball,
it's already there.
Yep.
But
we need a team, though.
Think on that one. We've got to bring something in. Do the Wallabies have a hope in hell of beating the All Blacks?
No.
Should Paul Green coach Queensland next season?
No.
You're off him?
No. Done with him. And
will the Broncos get the wooden spoon this season?
No, but Canterbury will.
Thank God for Canterbury.
Yeah, thank God for Canterbury. There's still Canterbury.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Probably just avoid it.
Yep.
16th last year, 15th this year.
Yep.
14th next year, let's go.
Let's do it, mate. And just as a quick one, I don't think South Africa are going to win the rugby.
No.
No, they're done.
we're out of time. I
Thank
appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot.